Did you hear about the woman from Miami who went on vacation with her sister and ended up coming home in a casket? Denisha Delancey was just 29 years old, born and raised in Miami, Florida. A certified baddie from Liberty City, she loved to go out, travel, and enjoy life. This March, they were planning to celebrate her sister Sincaria's 29th birthday by planning a trip to the island of St. Martin with another friend for the very first time. The three young ladies booked a beautiful Airbnb on the Dutch side of the island along with a private driver. As soon as they arrived on the island, they went to their Airbnb, got cleaned up, and immediately went out to have fun at a day party. Later that night, they went to a club called the White Rabbit, and they met a man from Trinidad who was now living in St. Martin. He was being very generous and making sure that they were well taken care of. So by the time the night ended, they told their private driver that they didn't need him anymore, and they decided to ride home with this man because he had also booked an Airbnb just a few doors down from theirs. When they made it back to the room, the birthday girl and their friend Sasha went inside, while Denisha decided she was going to hang out with the men a little bit more. The plan was for them to go back to his Airbnb and hang out, but instead he drove her back to the club, and Denisha never made it back to her sister again. Her sister tried calling Denisha's phone over and over again, but there was no answer. Some hours later, they got a call from their private driver asking them if they were okay. And the girl said yes, but Denisha never made it back from hanging out with that man. When the driver heard this, he said, "Oh no, that man you were with, he was found dead early this morning." When the police first arrived on the scene, they thought it was just another traffic accident. But as they investigated, they saw that it was way more than that. Inside the car, they found a male driver and a female passenger, and they were both unresponsive. But when they investigated further, they realized that the crash was not the cause of their deaths. Police learned that the driver, Quincy Damon Sylvester, was a local businessman who was also suspected of being a drug lord, and police believe this murder was a targeted hit to execute him. Police say they found camera footage showing that there were some unknown men following Quincy around the club all night long. These men allowed them to leave the club and go all the way back to the Airbnb, but when they returned, they took their shot and got their man. Denisha just happened to be with him.
Well, hey me now, hey me later. This is going to be one of those videos, so you're already warned. This is what I'm talking about when it deals with black women directly out here, and how easy it is for if a killer wanted to sit up there and get directly to them. It's easy. Just sit up there and have some money. Be somewhere on a nice island, you know, away from quote unquote black men in the United States. It's over. It's over, like I said. And this wasn't even a black American man that did it. This dude was clearly from the area. Clearly from the area, right? And who's to say, because they're new, they don't know nothing about the surroundings, they don't know nothing about the locals or the people, right? Who's to say that this dude didn't already basically case them to begin with, right? Because they stated that, well, the lady in the video stated that the two women ended up getting Airbnb, had to get cleaned out and all this other type of stuff, right? Usually in those areas, people know people who people know people who people know people, right? Everybody's connected. Somebody knows whispers and all this other type of stuff, right? So somebody could have got in contact with Buddy and then decided to relay the information, be like, yo, this is, you know, these two American girls, like they just, you know, got here, yada, yada, yada. We got an Airbnb down the street, so why don't you go get that real quick, right? And then he got the Airbnb. And then just magically, he appeared after the Airbnb got set up and everything. They decided to go out to the club. He magically decided at the same time to go out to the club, and oops, now he bumped directly into him. And now, you know, you got this whole situation here. But I want to add a little bit more to the story. Adding to the chaos in recent murders of Quincy Damon Sylvester, a Trinidadian drug dealer operating in St. Martin. Sylvester, who ran a legitimate looking PVC pipe business as a front for his drug operations, was killed alongside an American companion in a vehicle that toppled over on Arlette Peters Road. Surveillance footage from the White Rabbit nightclub showed that Sylvester being monitored before his death, raising suspicions of a targeted hit. Sylvester's connections with the criminal underground extends beyond St. Martin. Sources suggest that he had ties to the same network involved in Plumpy Boss shooting, further highlighting the interconnected nature of these violent rivalries. So color me surprised that, and again, looking at her pictures, and again, one can only assume, and it's going to be the rightful assumption, because 9 times out of 10, when you have young women that look just like this, they 9 times out of 10 mess with the ballers, right? The rappers, the drug dealers, things of that type. They don't mess with normal type of guys because they consider them boring. They're not flashy. They don't have money directly on hand and all that, and they can't pay for their lifestyle, right? So 9 times out of 10, women like this like to mess with street guys. So color me surprised when she left the United States dealing with street guys, and then she just so happened to run into a drug dealer, you know, over yonder. It's amazing. It's almost as if they can specifically sense and find these types of guys. Even though you have women out here that will sit up there and tell like, no. These guys, you know, just automatically find the women, and women don't know. Women are ignorant of anything that men do, or the types of men directly out there. The woe is me, Lois Lane. I'm always innocent directly over the, you know, all the time. Like I said, this is crazy. Play stupid games, you play stupid prizes. The one female companion that was there, she decided, she was like, hey, I'm just gonna, you know, go back home. Smartest decision that was ever made. Smartest decision that was ever made. But no. What did the other one want to do? She was like, I want to sit up there and hang out with the guys. Huh? Why would you sit up there and separate? And this is the main thing I sit up there. I'm be looking at, you know, black women sideways all the time. If you go out places, why are you going in separate directions? If y'all came there as a group, y'all should be leaving as a group. But you opted not to do that. You had 2 choices. You could have sat up there, right, and left with your friend who made the smartest decision, right, and just went home. Or your friend could have, 9 times out of 10, this was the one time that it didn't happen, right? She could have made the decision, like, all right, I'm just going to sit up there and like be lax in my judgment and whatnot, and I'm going to go directly with my friend and hang out with the guys, right? And again, it would have been 2 bodies. It would have been 2 American bodies that basically got caught up in a cross lines dealing with gangs and drugs. Like I said, this is just crazy. This is 100% crazy. And again, you're not going to hear really nothing about this story because they can't specifically tell you that, oh, black men did this. Black men contributed. Black men are the failure to the system. And they're the reason for the femicide rates and da. There are tons of stories out there where black women are losing their lives, going on these trips to men of other ethnicities. But you're not going to really hear much or anything about it because they cannot attach a black man to it. They cannot condemn black men when it deals with the loss of a black woman losing her life outside of these United States. Like I said, condolences to the family. At the end of the day, things like this should not happen. If people go and take trips, the same way that they came there is the same way that they should come back home, which is whole, which means that nothing's wrong with them, which means that they have all of their health and their faculties completely together. But also at the same time, you have too many folks out here that want to make stupid choices. They want to play stupid games and win stupid prizes. She was obviously enamored with all of the flash, with all of the money, with the thought process of like, oh, I don't even have to be in America no more. I can just have a boyfriend or whatnot, whatever, and live out here, and this will be my life, and I'll be social media this and all this other. Like I said, I can already see where it was going to go. If she didn't already have social media, right? But I can already see her thought process and where this was already going to go. And this is, again, what led to the loss of life that we are able to hear about directly in this video. Like I said, it's a shame. And at the end of the day, a lot of black women need to make better choices. A lot of black women need to make better choices. Like I said, there's no ifs, ands, or buts directly about it. No ifs, ands, or buts directly about it. Like I said, that was crazy. You didn't know this dude from a can of paint. You decided that you wanted to go back to his place. What? You decided that you wanted to hang out with him and his people. What? You don't know nobody there. Like I said, no type of discernment. Ain't that the word that they like to use? No type of, discernment. Yeah, no type of discernment. No thought process, no logic directly in this at all. This is what selfishness and greed. This is what it will sit up there and get you. And like I told people before, when it deals with men, we are the kings of storytelling when it deals with greed and selfishness and how far that road will basically get you. And it's not far at all. She learned that story. So like I said, I need a lot of women to calm down and just be women at the end of the day. Women chasing this money and doing this, this is what happens. This is what happens when you decide that you want to sit up there and chase money and you think you know what is best. You're going to lead yourself directly into an early grave, just like men who've been in this story and still in the story to this day. But like I said, a lot of women feel like, hey, you know, just because, you know, men sat up there and went this road don't mean that I can't sit up there and play the game and basically win. Well, like I said, just let this be an example. Like I said, and for those women out there, like I said, start talking to y'all daughters. Stories like this happen because y'all not putting value, y'all not putting knowledge, y'all not putting information into your daughters so that they know who it is that they are before they even come into contact with a man, and especially a man with money. Like I said, it's easy for guys with money to sit up there and buy women. Can't nobody tell me different. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.